We are excited to meet the Hoosier Hero class of 2025 and have a roundtable discussion. So I want to start, just introduce yourself and what you race.
I'm Kelly Barr Anderson, and I race a 2000 F-Body Camaro. I drag race.
Nice. What about you?
My name's Lizzy. I race a quarter midget.
A quarter midget. Awesome.
My name's Emerson Axsom, and I race 410 wing sprint cars.
Very cool. Now, as you look at your career and where you guys are now, what stands out to you as a defining moment? Let's start with you, Emerson.
I don't know, there's a lot. It's kind of hard to choose from one exactly, but probably around 2019, 2020, I won the Tulsa shootout with my dad. Kind of me and my dad as a team and kind of as a family operation, and then got my first real opportunity at a USAC midget ride with Scott Petrie and Petrie Motorsports. So that's kind of the first guy that believed in me and gave me a national ride as I guess a job or a ride, whatever you want to call it. So that's probably my first moment, I guess, that I could make it to where I could do it full time and you know, not just go racing on the weekends with my dad.
You're not the only one that comes from a racing family. Lizzy, you're a fourth generation racer. For you, what's the earliest memory, which is funny to ask because you're 8 years old, right? What's the first thing you remember about being at a racetrack?
It just looked fun to see.
Yeah? Were you surprised when you first got in a race car what it was like to actually drive?
Yes.
What surprised you about it?
I don't know, it's just really fun.
Really fun? I know racing is fun, but it's also hard. And as we think about Lizzy's story and Emerson's story, very different than yours, Kelly. And most racers start when they're young, but you started at the age of 51. When did you first fall in love with drag racing? Because I have to imagine it was before that.
Well, yeah, so when I was 18, my husband and I were dating, and he took me to Pomona NHRA Winter Nationals, and I saw John Force do this massive burnout that it was the most incredible thing. So I've always loved it, but I never in a million years thought I would be drag racing. We'd go out spectating, and that's how I kind of just decided, I thought, you know what, I want to give this a try. And I like to drive fast, so it just fit so well. I mean, it just was meant to be, for sure.
You like to drive fast. Were you getting speeding tickets on the public roads?
Nope.
No?
But
Good
you know
for
what?
you.
You know what's crazy? I like the launch. So I like a torquey, hard wheelie up, but I like a fast, hard launch. And I like to go fast off of a red light, you know, but I never really sped. I just went fast to like 40.
Okay.
And then I would just go the speed limit. It's kind of crazy that it just worked out. And that's my favorite part of the drag race is the launch.
I love that you're laughing, Emerson. What stood out to you about what Kelly was saying? And I have to imagine you were behind a wheel before you got your street license, because you mentioned 13 was kind of when things really started to take off for you. Was it weird to have friends who were young and couldn't drive on the streets, but you were behind the wheel of a race car?
A little bit, but I don't know. I've been my best friend from grade school. It's a funny story that his brother and his family is actually into dirt late model racing out of the same town and everything. So even when I was at school, I was kind of around racing stuff, racing related things. So yeah, I've been very fortunate to like just never, you know, I never put in a, like you said, a kind of weird position. And so no, not really, but I don't know, it's just kind of a weird deal.
You mentioned John Forrest. When you were, and I want to say younger because you're still very young, who were some of your racing heroes or folks that you watched besides your dad? Because I know he was a hero of yours.
Honestly, the first racetrack memory I have, probably two, was at Eldora for the World 100. Scott Bloomquist got sent to the tail for a window net and came from the tail and won. And I was actually, after that, I was a huge dirt late model fan, even though I race sprint cars. But yeah, it's probably Scott Bloomquist. And then also growing up, when we did go to some sprint car races, I went to Four Crown, and Tracy Hines flipped coming to the checkered leading. And yeah, he was my favorite sprint car driver. So I guess just when I went to Eldora, whoever won was my favorite driver, sounds like.
Yeah. What about you, Lizzy? Can you think of any race car drivers that you look up to?
One of my favorites, Barr Emerson.
Nice. You know, you think about your career so far, Emerson, and we've talked about how your dad raced. What are the challenges of being from a racing family? How do you set yourself apart from your dad?
It's more fortunate than anything that I've came from a racing family and that my dad's been around the ringer and I didn't have to do it the hard way, because it's hard to be a first generation racer without connections, and because the only thing that's better than connections, I guess, is a little bit of money, and it's a lot easier to make connections than get a lot of money, I think. So it's more fortunate than more good than bad that comes out of that.
Relationships are definitely important.
Well said.
Yeah, it sounds like something struck a chord with
Yeah,
you.
that's
What stood
good
out?
stuff. I mean, it is all about connections, and it is easier to make connections than it is to make a lot of money. So yeah, life is all about really networking. And the more you're out there and you go to more events and you just connect with people, it's all about relationships. It takes years and years to build up relationships, but that's really what life is all about.
A lot of it is the fans' perception of who you are, making a good impression, but also what you're doing for the community. And I know, Kelly, you're the founder of Mavix Community Outreach, which helps foster kids and troubled teens get introduced to racing. With your experience in that initiative, what's been a wow moment for you?
Oh gosh, well, I spoke with some of the foster parents that we brought out to the track, and they just said, you know, some of the opportunities that you gave them, most kids don't get to have that experience. You know, we do a track walk. We bring them onto the track before the night starts, and they get to have a rundown of what we do. And I mean, it's beautiful to make an impact. And then to watch the kids after I make a pass, they're like, oh, wow, you know, and it's so incredible to be able to introduce the kids and just give them opportunities that they wouldn't normally have.
Talk about goals. What's your biggest racing goal, Lizzy? Is there a race you really want to win, or maybe a track that you'd love to drive at?
Maybe my hometown.
Your hometown? You have other big goals. I heard that you want to be a doctor when you grow up. Is that right? Why do you want to be a doctor?
To help other kids like me.
That's amazing. And how do you think racing's going to help you get to that goal? Do you think it's taught you some things that will help you throughout reaching other goals?
Yes.
Do you know what kind of doctor you want to be?
Paramedic.
A paramedic. Wow, that's amazing. Do you think that it'll be harder or easier to become a doctor than a race car driver?
Becoming a race car driver is kind of easier,
Yeah?
but becoming a doctor is kind of like harder.
Kind of harder. Lots of school involved? Yeah? Well, I think because you've proven that you can be a race car driver, that anything is possible. Would you agree with that? Yeah? That's awesome. Kelly, in 5 years, what do you hope that you've achieved in racing?
Oh gosh, well, I want to definitely leave my name in the books, in the history books, you know what I mean? I see this coming year we're going to give some land speed racing a go. Still going to drag race, but our home track closed. I just want to make as big of an impact as I possibly can and influence as many people as possible, knowing that, you know what, you're not too old, you're not too far gone. I mean, sky's the limit, you know, anybody could do it, you know, and you don't have to have a fancy car to do it. It could, anything. So I started in a 6-cylinder Camaro, and it wasn't very fast, 74 miles an hour in the 8th mile. So my dreams started at that moment.
You talk about wanting to leave a legacy. What do you hope when people say your name, 50 years in the future, that they say alongside your name?
Oh, she was a go-getter. She was passionate and loving and caring and a really good racer. Yeah.
Yeah? Emerson, what about you? What do you hope people say about you in the future?
I don't know. Hopefully they're still talking about me in 50 years. That's a long time. I don't know. Probably that I was passionate and maybe that I did things the right way.
To end the conversation, I'd love to hear from each of you 3 things that are imperative to being a racer?
Passion, you know, times
Okay.
get tough. Like, you know, you run 18th
Okay.
and you got to go back to the hotel and then it's a late night, you have to wash. You don't do it if you don't like it. So,
Okay.
you know, you got to love what you do.
We'll have each of you give one. Passion,
Bravery.
bravery. That's such a
Yeah.
good one. Takes a lot of bravery to do what you do. And then Kelly, for you?
Commitment.
Commitment. I love it. Passion, bravery, and commitment. Thank you guys so much for the conversation. Really excited to see all of your accomplishments in 2025, and congratulations on being a Hoosier Hero.
Thank
you.
you so much. Truly an honor.